So I am in the beautiful city of Nuremberg and I'm going to the old town. Nuremberg in general, it's the 14th largest city in Germany, with the population reaching 511,000. So it's quite a big city, and here we are entering the old town, and you can see already here next to me the guarding towers for the old town and for the city, and this is in a round shape. This one you can see that's in a round shape, and whenever you see the tower that is in a round shape, then you can think that this tower was actually built not earlier than 13th century. Why is that? Well, this is because the towers built it on the regular basis in the shape of a square. The founding was in a shape of square, and they did that because it was efficient and it was easy to construct and it was quite stable. But here the round shape is when they wanted to protect themselves from the cannons. When you shoot a cannon, when the bullet hits the flat target, it makes more damage. But if it meets the round target, then it bounces off, and only some of the power is actually hitting with the full force. So the round towers was the way of protecting from the cannon fire that was developed in 12th century and popularized in the 13th century. That is why I'm guessing that it's no earlier than 13th century this tower was constructed. The other towers and the other buildings are reaching the 11th century. I think the 1050 or something around that is the first documentation mentioning Nuremberg as a city of merchants and as a city of people who were doing the commodity trading. It's getting a little late, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reach to the Imperial castle. In Nuremberg was informally called the unofficial capital of Germany because so many emperors were choosing Nuremberg for their place of residence. And here behind me you can see the church, and it's magnificent. I mean, I'm totally in love with all the designs and all the Gothic style that the church was built in. I'm quite frankly a fan of medieval churches, and I like them very much. In Europe, churches were built in the special places, and the ground of the church was the holy ground. There was a special place that the church was built. One interesting thing, I think I can show you this, is the sculptures of the creatures that are called, and there's one over there, I don't know whether you can see this one, and they were called gargoyles. And gargoyles were the creatures that were the protectors of the churches from the dark forces. So when you see medieval church and you can see the sculptures, also can see the creatures that are sitting, and here's another example over here, and protecting the church, and these are the gargoyles. And there were very many legends about gargoyles that are bursting imagination, because in some movies even you see them come alive and be the real creatures they were intended to be. And this behind me is actually the church of Saint Sebald. Magnificent church, beautiful looking architecture and a lot of things to admire in this one. And now we're going to the castle. I want to reach to the top and show you the views. And you can see all Nuremberg. And one of the Nuremberg's greatest sons, Albrecht Dürer, his monument. And he was a painter, he was an architect, he was a theorist of the German Renaissance. He was born in 1471 and passed away in 1528. The late days of his living was spent in Nuremberg, when there is a Albrecht Dürer house when you can admire his lifestyle. And it is said that the greatest works that he did they were actually made here, living in Nuremberg. And the airport in Nuremberg is also called Albrecht Dürer Flughafen, which means the airport. And as I'm getting closer to the castle, I'm seeing this cool place, and this was actually the bar that you see at the back here. Then my friend that is living here in Nuremberg once took me here, and he said that that's a very famous thing to enjoy, but also there's also a lot of people sitting on the pavement floor. So that's also some typical recreation time, and yeah, that's something that I wanted to show you, because it's not something that you will see in the guides. And then here you can see the magnificent castle, and we are getting closer to the castle. Let us see whether we would be able to reach the castle. Here, going from the castle, you can see the walls, the protective walls. And you know, during the Second World War, a lot of Nuremberg also was destroyed. But the interesting fact is that there are 4 kilometers of defensive walls around the old town of Nuremberg, and actually there were 5 to begin with. So 4 kilometers out of 5 were not destroyed, which is quite amazing, because if you are here, then you can actually admire the original defensive walls, which is kind of cool. And then you can also see there was water between two layers of the walls. First layer wall and then the second layer of the wall. It made the city much more secure for the enemies that were trying to reach the city and take all the things that the city was holding. So now I'm getting closer and closer to the castle, and it's a very cool castle. You can see the castle here. I will have to walk uphill a little bit to reach it, but you can see over there at the balcony people gathering and looking at the beautiful panorama of Nuremberg city. And this is what the road here leads to, up the hill. Here you can see an interesting thing. You can see a rock here, and then you can see here that the castle was built on the rock. So this is how the castle was built. And over here, this is the warehouse for the stocks. This is the warehouse for the wheat stocks and for the other food that were held in case of the bad year. Day is heading to an end, but we did it. We reached the castle of Nuremberg, and look at this beautiful view behind me. It's really amazing. You can see the whole beautiful city of Nuremberg, and That's just amazing how the castle is. It was built on the rock, and you can see the rock connected with the bricks, and it's a pretty clear and amazing connection. So hooray for that. And I think I'm gonna go and eat something right now, because it was quite a run across the whole city. But I'm just enjoying this beautiful view of Nuremberg, and it's quite amazing. You can see the red rooftops, and you can see the churches, and you can see the old town packed with little cozy, beautiful restaurants, people enjoying themselves, having something to eat, having beer, what they call in Germany Kellerbier, which is I think the basement beer. But if any German is watching, please correct me. So this is the entrance to the castle, and you can actually go inside. It's actually right now closed, but I think it's open till 6 p.m. and you can go inside to the castle, and you can check out the rooms and check out all the other kind of lifestyle displays that were present. But I was not able to make it in time, unfortunately. That's not a problem, we'll make it some other time. Visit Nuremberg. It's a beautiful castle in a beautiful city, so highly recommend it, guys. And yeah, we reached to the castle. That's so cool. So the day is heading to an end. I'm going to eat something. I hope you like this one, and see you in the next one. Cheers.